Hey mamas, welcome to another episode of Confessions of a Small Biz Mama. My name is Kristen Ingram. I am a small biz mama with two businesses. I am a mom to a preschooler, a wife, and I am just trying to get all the things done just like you. So today I wanted to talk about the most important thing I have learned from meditation. Now, I will be completely honest with you. I am by no means an expert at this. The reason they call it a meditation practice is because you're constantly trying to get better. But one thing that it has taught me is that it is always okay to begin again. So one of the really important ideas with meditation is that you're trying to stay focused, right? You're trying to calm your mind. And I think especially right now, there's just so much going on and your mind is constantly trying to go in 95 different directions. And so in meditation, if you've never meditated before, one of the things that you try to do is when you realize that you are thinking about something else, right? Your mind is wandered off. Your goal is to go back to whatever your focal point is, which a lot of times when you're meditating, it's your breathing, and to begin again, right? To refocus. And so when I am kind of in my daily life, whether it is because I'm getting distracted, maybe I got distracted by social media. I just had an alert go off on my computer. My phone is starting to buzz because it's after my notifications just turned off, or my notifications just turned back on. I'm recording this pretty early in the morning. I always have to go, okay, what should I be doing? What should I be focused on? Let me begin again, right? And I think that applies to that situation. And it also applies when you fail at something in life. So I know that I was, I have students that approach me and say, you know what, I'm worried about taking the QuickBooks Pro Advisor exam because what if I fail? It's like, okay, well, if you fail, so for those of you that don't know, you have 3 attempts to take the exam. And then if you fail on the 3rd try, you get locked out for 60 days. And then after 60 days, you can take the exam again. And I have students that will get so worried about, what if I fail? So, well, that's okay. The mantra in bookkeeper training school is if you fail the exam, which only maybe about 10% of our students do, because I think we do a pretty good job preparing them for the exam. But if you fail, that's not a big deal. You're going to keep going with the course. You're going to set up all your marketing. You're going to, you're going to start to get clients, right? And when clients ask, you'll say, oh, I'm working on my QuickBooks certification, which I have to tell you, 80% of bookkeepers don't even have the wherewithal to take the exam because they're so afraid, of failure. And so I say is, you're going to go through, you're going to build your business, you're going to get your first few clients. And when those 60 days roll around, you're just going to begin again. You're going to take it again. I think a lot of people believe that failure is the end. And I really believe that failure is a learning opportunity for you to say, okay, how can I improve next time so that I can win? Because let me tell you, if I had gone through and I've had a number of, online business ventures that I've done before I did this. And if I had said okay, well, that didn't work, I guess I'm done. We wouldn't have bookkeeper training school. We wouldn't have over 1,000 women in bookkeeper training school, learning and growing and helping their clients and getting certified. But it was because I had the courage to begin again that all this has happened, right? The bookkeeper training school exists. And so I think that we feel that when we get distracted, when we get unfocused, when, maybe we don't hit the benchmarks we want, that things are over. And I want you instead to think about, it's not. Because every day, you have the opportunity to begin again. So even if yesterday or last week or last month or last year didn't go the way that you want it to go, I want you to sit down and say, okay, you know what? Let me get refocused. Let me make sure that this is still the thing I want to do. And then if it is still the thing I want to do, it's still my goal, it's still my dream, I'm going to begin again. And sometimes that means, starting where you left off. And sometimes that means going back to the beginning and starting over. But no matter what that looks like for you, I never want you to forget that you always have the opportunity to begin again. Listen, I hope that this was super helpful for you. If it was, and somebody else who might benefit from this, can you just share this with them? Because that's like the best way that we have to grow this podcast. And listen, I'm super excited for what we have planned for you guys in December. I think it's going to be amazing. Make sure that you go to smallbizmama.com and just sign up for our email list, sign up for updates for the show, because we've got some really cool stuff coming in December. And I cannot wait for you guys to hear about it. So however you're feeling today, know that at any moment during your day, you can stop, you can take a deep breath, and you can begin again. All right, mamas, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Small Biz Mama with Kristen Ingram. If you'd like to learn how to create more margin in your life, please visit us at smallbizmama.com. That's smallbizmama.com.